Story 2. A haunting in Dublin, Ireland. I've always been open-minded about the supernatural, and I enjoy a good ghost story as much as the next person. The following is an account of something that I experienced a little over 20 years ago in the county Dublin in the Republic of Ireland. I've had very little experience with what could be called supernatural phenomena, but this one has stayed with me and left me wondering about what I experienced. The girl I was seeing at the time gave me a call to let me know that her parents would be out of town for the weekend, and that I was more than welcome to spend the weekend alone with her in her parents' house. Now, being a teenage boy, I naturally didn't need to be asked twice, and before I knew it, we were cuddling away in her bedroom. It wasn't long, however, until our passion was interrupted by the distinct sound of footsteps coming up the stairs. On hearing the footsteps, I immediately leapt up and something along the lines of, what the I don't know why this is happening to me right now. What the fuck? I thought your parents were gone for the weekend. She assured me that they were indeed gone for the weekend and seemed to brush off the fact that they had both clearly heard heavy footsteps coming up the stairs. Strange things continued to happen throughout the day, such as, once we walked by a room to get to the bathroom, I couldn't help but notice that all the windows had been open and that the curtains were blowing around like they were in a hurricane. The thing is, I could have sworn those windows were shut the first time I passed them, but who knows, maybe I was mistaken. In fact, I wasn't really feeling spooked by any of this, and just told myself that what I'd witnessed could be the result of a number of things. It wasn't long until I actually freaked out, though. At some time in the middle of the night, both myself and my girlfriend woke up and remember asking what the hell was going on. I had a feeling I can't quite describe, sort of a mixture of dread and despair, with a hint of curiosity, if that makes any sense. I could hear movement downstairs, and I had the distinct feeling that there was a crowd of God knows what below the kitchen. I could also hear conversations, but couldn't make out what was being said. I asked, again, to my girlfriend what the hell was going on in this house, and to my surprise, she calmly told me that this type of thing is always happening. This didn't exactly reassure me, but I managed to get back to sleep without further incident. Now, one more thing I'd like to add is that this house in question was a terrace house, and that had been not too long before the scene of a murder. From what I remember in the news, a woman had been pretty brutally killed, but no one had ever been convicted. Everybody was convinced that it was the husband, but I think that he got off on a technicality. I've often wondered if this had anything to do with the strange things I experienced.
I bet you anything. This girl, I'm imagining if it was me.
Mm-hmm.
My parents move us into a haunted house. I can't leave.
Yeah.
I'm not an adult. I don't have money. My parents go out of town. Hey, do you want to come stay the night?
Yes.
And I would not tell
100%.
anyone why.
100%.
I would not say because it's haunted.
Yeah.
Which, to bring up Bettina, I might need to send her an apology because in high school, she lived in a haunted house, didn't tell us. I would pet sit for her. I had to find out through someone else that it was haunted. And I was like, girl, what? I've been sleeping in your house? So, like, now I might get it a little bit. Yeah, you want someone hanging out with you because maybe it's a little scary and scary things might not happen if you're with your friends.
Yeah, it's less scary, especially if you're with your friends. It takes some of the seriousness away.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, when you're by yourself, you're really hyper vigilant of all the sounds. Like,
Right.
I mean, I do that living here every single time that I'm alone. Like, anytime that he goes out of town, I'm on red alert.
Yeah.
I'm checking every single door, every single window, and obviously for real, not like ghosts aren't real, but like real reasons.
Yeah.
Like somebody breaking
Like
into my
burglar.
house.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm on super, super high alert, but those little sounds that my house makes, or maybe even George makes throughout the night, always keep me like super, super hyper aware. I hear something bang downstairs, and I'm like, is it a burglar? Am I about to die? Or is it George just doing something shitty while I'm trying to sleep?
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know which one it is.
But yeah, when you have friends there, you're like, not us being possessed by George.
Yeah. That's crazy if you were to do that. I can't.
It's like, okay, make it levitate.
It goes to like 6, 7.
Huh?
I want you to put some like crying, like sad song over my head because that was really sad. That was a really gross joke. Sorry. It wasn't even funny.
I don't get it.
It's not. There's nothing to get.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I'm old. I like
There's literally
something
nothing
about being 32 and a half My iPhone updated. I can't fucking figure out how to use it, and I feel like my mom right now. Literally. I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, I'm just incompetent. And I don't care to figure it out.
Yeah. I wonder if there's like, I mean, I'm sure everything is a conspiracy now, but I wonder if there's something that they're putting in our food and water that's just like making us a little bit dumber all the time.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't either, because that's how you keep people compliant,
Mm-hmm.
by keeping them dumb. And that's why our education system is so poor, because if you keep people dumb, you keep them compliant and you keep them at the place that you need them.
Like, let me just say, the red states that need the most funding have the lowest education scores. So, like, I'm looking at you, Mississippi.
Yeah.
Why do you think you're a red state?
It's true. That's why all the big cities are blue.
Yeah.
Because they are educated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
It's their government's fault. You're failing us.
Yeah. Mild. It takes an education to learn that maybe other people have problems too, and we should help everyone.
Yeah. It's
It's
crazy
not all
that
about me.
with education also, most of the time, not all the time, comes empathy.
Yeah.
It's a crazy thought.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, if you learn about people and like their struggles and where they come from, maybe you'll learn to empathize a little bit more.
Yeah. It's crazy that if you have empathy, you don't need the fear of going to hell to be a good person.
Yeah.
You kind of just realize
You just realize
this is
that
the
you
right
could
thing to
be a
do.
good person. Yeah. There's a thing called like morals, I think they're called. Yeah.
Yeah. Story 3.
If you enjoyed that little story, be sure to watch the full episode here. And make sure you like, subscribe, and all that jazzy. Jazzy? I see what you did there. Wait, what was that?